Dang it. Come on.
In 11th and a lap 4, he was in the lead. Nobody touched him after that. Brian Birkhofer. 14902. 149. 14852. 14852.
Mr. Dogburn?
What is it?
I'd like to talk to you a minute.
What is it?
They tell me you're a man with true grit.
What do you want, girl? Speak up at supper time.
Let me do that. Your makings are too dry.
Well, we had a great racing. It's been a good between the raindrops, I guess I should say. A little bit of rain, so there's some people have gotten some racing in. Some people haven't. I know we were at Davenport Friday night. We tried to get the show in, and Mother Nature had other
plans.
Yeah. But yeah, looking at some national events. I got to put my readers on here. The Bobby Pierce has been on an absolute tear of late.
God, can you believe that?
He won Beaver Dam Wednesday night.
Yep.
Last week he won here in Davenport on Thursday. Joliet again on Friday night. Yeah. And then that's the summer, the dirt car Hell Tour. Brandon Shepard went back to back.
Yeah.
He ran Brownstown, won at Brownstown on Sunday. Ashton Winger won Knoxville, Illinois. First time the late models have been in Knoxville, Illinois in quite a while.
You know, on Fair Night, and I'm going to tell you, I watched a little bit of that show, and they just had a packed grandstand.
Oh, yeah.
Bad pileup on the backstretch, but that track's kind of a flat track. I don't know if you ever ran that one before.
I did.
And it's very sandy.
Yep.
And, boy, it's hard on tires, and but a lot of fun to race on.
It was flat, narrow, and dark when I ran it.
Probably hasn't changed.
It's a bad combination, but
all right.
I tell you what, I think it's gotten a lot. The lighting's gotten a lot better. It looked like too. I know. I remember specifically, it was really hard to see when the sun started setting because you run right down the back straightaway, right into the sun.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remembered that. Bobby Pierce then won. This is all the Hell Tour. He won in Canton then on Wednesday the 8th, and Macon on Thursday. Wow. So he's really been on an absolute tear.
Boy, and I tell you that Macon, that's kind of, well, when you talk about a little bouldering, that, have you ever, our guest tonight, we're going to introduce him because I'm going to ask him a question, is world-renowned Brian Birkhofer from Muscatine, Iowa. We call him Berkey. And his beautiful wife, Alyssa.
Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Berkey.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having us.
Did you ever run down there at all?
I ran Macon one time.
Yeah, isn't that a crazy track?
Yeah, you can actually kill the car very quickly. You get into the corner.
Yeah.
All you got to just kill it, not gas back up, man. Gas up. Keep it going.
I know when I looked at Bobby Pierce's car, after the feature, when they took the shots down in Victory Lane, they had him have the driver's side facing out because there was no right rear quarter panel, and the passenger door was just about gone too, so there wasn't a lot left to the right side.
You know what? I ran a sprint car down there. First time I ever saw the track. I can't imagine what it's like running a late model there because you know how high banked it is. So it's like sitting outside of a bowl. And I remember we were pitting in the pit area. I hadn't seen it, never been there. And so we're outside of the trailer getting ready, and I'm like, so where's the track? And we were there with some friends that raced. And they said, well, this is it. And I said, okay, well, what are those lights right there? He goes, well, that's the other side. I'm like, you got... Because they were like this. I'm like, they cannot be the racetrack.
Right.
He said, no, dude, you got to go up and see it. And so
when you're pitted on the backstretch, and it's like everything's grass, and all of a sudden, you just walk up there. They built the corners up, and then there it is. It's like, what? How,
a bowl.
We just go in there. Just drive in there and start driving around. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I remember it was almost as wide as it was long.
Yes.
You could, on a sprint car,
I don't even know.
Run it the
you
wrong
probably
way.
couldn't park a hauler. You could put an 80-foot hauler in between the front stretch and the back stretch. It might not be able to unload the car. Pretty much.
I can't imagine running a late model there, though, because it was fun in a sprint car, because I can't imagine trying to wheel a late model around there.
Well, that's why Pierce didn't have a quarter panel left, because you have a right rear tire and a wing that's about,
That's
5 foot in the air?
Yep.
You'd be all right.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of sprint cars, the World of Outlaws ran Wilmot, Wisconsin, about the only race that they got in last weekend, and Brad Sweet ended up, I think he swept every single race in Wisconsin this year in sprint car ranks. Touch on that. Lucas Oil, all they have done is sit and watch stuff on video. It's done nothing but rain for those guys. However, I would be remiss if I did not mention that they are going to run Thursday night at 34 Raceway, this coming Thursday.
Oh, Great.
So
Great.
if you guys can make it down, support it, please. It's a rain out, and I know there's it's a makeup date for a rain out, but we got to support local racing.
We
what I mean?
got to.
I say go Tim McCready.
There you go.
That
I like
should
that.
be a whale
T-Mac.
of a show. Should be a whale of a show.
Yeah,
34
he's
races.
a star, man. I love Timmy. He's
He's
good.
got a
dude.
lot of diversity, doesn't he?
Brian, we're going to roll the clock back a little bit before I do that. Of course, you said tonight's guest, Brian Birkhofer, and his beautiful wife, Alyssa.
Voluptuous.
I'm building brownie
go.
points.
There you go.
And
I like that.
tell us about your 2 children you got, Brian.
We got Creed, who's 15. He wants to be a football player,
All right.
and he's putting all his time in, getting up at 6 every morning, going to practice, doing his workouts, going to the Y, doing this thing. And then our older son, Cruz, lovely kid.
Seen him out in the
But,
vintage cars.
but he's racing a little bit. He wants to race. But, he's doing what he wants to do right now. So
He's got 2 weeks left, and
Yeah.
he'll have at the community college, and he'll
Yeah.
have his welding certification.
yeah, we're trying to get
All
him.
right.
Yeah, I want him to become a TIG welder. So
Good.
he has a great talent to do kind of what he wants to do. And
Good.
if you can TIG weld, man,
You can go anywhere.
yeah, you can
right.
do whatever you want.
You're
That's
set
right.
for life.
Yep.
He's also figured out he doesn't want to do it for a living, so
Oh, good. All right. I like that. I
his
like
plan
that.
is
Just
at the moment
fun.
for an associate's degree in business.
He needs to win the lottery.
Good. All right. Hey, I know
Nice.
that. My God.
Can't win if you don't play.
That's right. Hey, Wookie, we got a picture of Brian's dad we're going to get up there on the screen.
Oh boy.
I want to tell you what, we're going to roll the clock way back to probably the early 80s, that orange number 25 car.
Oh wow, man!
Now, your
You
dad
guys
was
pulled
right.
that one out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, when I seen your dad, initially, he was running, big blocks in the car. And I'm going to guess 1978-ish. He went to small blocks. And that guy had, he was running zoomy headers back then. And, they didn't have a collector on. They just dumped
yeah.
right on the track.
Yep.
And that car had so much compression and and it was so loud that, I don't think I could hear for like 3 days after we went to the Spring Sizzler up at West Liberty and watched him run out there. But your dad was awesome, and he was a guy that really could have been racing on the national tour had he not made a decision to, hey, let's take care of the family, I guess. Is that how it kind of went, Brian?
Well, I think my dad. He'd have to be here to tell you what was in his mind, but I think he thought of like his wife and his family, his kids, or whatever. And I honestly,
Good for him.
he probably could have done whatever.
Yeah.
But my he's done a lot for me, and
Oh,
he
no
steered me. He steered me in the right way a lot of times. But then the older I get, and I look at him like, Dad, what? Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's a fart and a skillet.
He's- yeah,
Can't
he
sit
is.
still
Yeah,
long
he's-
enough.
He works hard on a lot of different things. I'll tell you that.
Sure.
That's very cool.
How's your mom doing?
She's doing good.
Good.
Her mom, my grandma Marge, just passed away like 2 weeks ago. So
Okay.
that was a big loss for us because she was very fun in our life. Ain't nothing about, hey, Grandma, let's have a Bud Light together.
Sure.
We had a lot of Bud Lights together.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, hey, we're going to roll the clock ahead a little bit. We had on that video, we had some World 100 shots.
Yeah.
The first World 100 you won back in 2002. Man, it looked like Black Sunshine had that thing in the bag. You're going down the backstretch. What's going through your mind, Brian, as a race driver?
Well, the one thing I've been asked many times about this is like I think around lap 65 or so, I actually ran him down and was getting ready to pass him at one point, but then we had a caution, and when we fired back off, he just fired off and drove off, back out to the straightaway or so, and then I'm just because I'm a pussy or whatever. I just I wasn't driving hard enough, and then finally I got to the point where I was driving back to him, and
Sure.
it was I don't know, it's just you get to that last lap and like, man, I think I can clear him, and just like, well, you just go in there and go for broke a little bit. I didn't feel like I was going to crash him or myself.
Yeah.
I just like, if I could slide him and make it interesting, he'll turn back under me and pass me anyway.
But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, I guess. So, thank God, because it was a good payday for our family, listen,
family.
Cruz was only 4 months
yeah,
old.
when there's
Oh my God, are you
there's a
kidding me?
picture of, that's the biggest thing is Cruz is like an infant on my arms, and then we had our our Doberman, our mini Doberman, which he's passed too, but Hoosier was with us, so there was a lot of and then
Wookie, let's see that World 100 trophies up on the screen.
we when we rode home from our
right there. How do you
oh
like
yeah
that?
Nice.
yeah, I had to give one of them.
Let's
the other
go back
one
to the
yeah,
there we
the other
go.
one Probably Bill got that one, or maybe Captain Kirk.
No, we ordered more.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
you
I mean, and then
can order more.
I can't. The one thing looking at that is like Keith and Tater Masters, man. When I look at this stuff, I mean that was one of them older haulers. You can only fit about 6 of us in the truck.
Okay.
It's like when McCready won a few years ago here in just an enclosed trailer because his broke down. But it's really cool to roll in there and beat them guys when they got their $500,000 haulers.
And we were up top. We weren't in the infield.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, being up top to me is way less congested. I love being up top. Oh, you're gonna miss whatever. I'm like, no, man, if you pay attention. But I don't know. I just have my own mentality about a lot of that stuff at Eldora. If it's meant to be, go in, do your work, pay attention, and it'll happen. That's the way I looked at it.
In the payday in 2002 compared to 2012, what was the difference there, Brian?
Well, we won 35 in 02, and then 12, I think I won a preliminary night.
I'm just thinking the difference was cash in 2000.
Oh yeah, it was
check in 2012.
yeah, it was.
That
It was,
you
well, it was
waited 2 weeks for in the mail.
basically it was 10 years, 10 grand. It was 45, but then there was a gentleman from the Quad City somewhere.
Rock
Mark-
River Arms,
Yes,
the guy that
Mark-
makes
his
guns.
name
I
is-
remember
Yes,
that.
man. Yeah, that guy.
Big race
and
fan.
he passed away, I believe,
too.
right?
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
Yeah, look up to him for that because he put in 5,000 for that.
Yeah.
So we
right.
rolled out there with 50 grand. So
So now, Alyssa, did you go shopping when you got that check?
No.
No.
she's
You had to pay-
she's tighter than me, man.
Is she really?
I work for Edward Jones Investments. I know
Oh,
I'm
my
supposed to
God,
put the
I
hay in
love
the
you
barn
already.
for a rainy day.
Okay.
Hey, let's roll it back. Let's talk about the 100 lapper. That's one of the things that fascinates me, especially coming from a sprint car world. How do you pace yourself for 100 laps? I mean, so how do you know? Hey, listen, I got to go, versus not going on lap 40.
Well,
I mean?
for me, the biggest thing now is we're judging off of 2012 because I know these guys, when you watch now, they're on a different tire program
Right.
completely. So them guys, they kind of are somewhat aggressive a lot of the race, where back then you're like, man, I just don't want to wheel spin a bunch.
Right.
I'm just trying to roll. I mean, obviously you're trying hard, but you're like, man, I just don't want to wheel spin to actually turn there. I don't want to be too aggressive here. But you're just trying to stay up with the pace and like, all right, I can get this guy. All right, oh man, all right, calm down a couple laps here, man. Don't wheel spin off 2. Just all right, go into 3, float it into 3, and we need more momentum off 4. Because if I have to be too aggressive, I feel like I'm killing my edges, or whatever. So that's the way I looked at a lot of them 100. Because I felt like at one point that was my biggest, where I was my best is the 100 lap races for probably 6, 8, 10 years of my career.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I won 100 lap races because I was trying to be smart, and I got lucky a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Pat, hang on a minute here. We want to make sure if you're listening out there, and I know we got a lot of people listening now, share this show right now. Share it on your page.
In case you're just joining us, Berkey's here in studio with us. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and also Spotify. Wookie said we're live on Spotify as well.
And guess what? We've added Twitch.
Twitch, thank you.
We got a new one.
I forgot one. So, guys,
hey, who knew?
If you're just tuning in, whether you're a first-time listener or watcher or a long-time watcher, please make sure that you smash the like button. Also, subscribe if you can. Also, share it. It helps us all out.
Now, hey, we're going to have some, if you get any questions you want to ask Brian or his wife, feel free to ask them, and we'll read the questions that are up there.
Absolutely.
And even beyond that, we're going to be giving away some door prizes later on. So you want to make sure, and they're autographed
Nick.
by Brian Birkhofer.
Berkey Light.
There you go. How do you like that? So we're going to have some of those questions we're going to ask
That's
you
your gas
in a
bill
little
now.
while. And, at that point, we will give away some door prizes. So stay tuned in. We got a lot of fun left here tonight. So
Very cool.
2002, we're at 35 grand, and then we went 50 grand with the $5,000 bonus. Now, I watched again, Knoxville Nationals. Brian, man, you on the last lap. I mean, do you and Scott Bloomquist even talk, or does that guy hate you? Or,
I was going to ask that same question.
yeah, I mean, come on.
Listen, he's probably my most respected guy in dirt racing.
Okay.
We talked. I hung out with him when I was younger, and then it kind of got to the point where I couldn't compete with him. He kind of shuts people off. He brings you in, and then when you can actually beat him,
Yeah.
he pushes you away a little bit.
All right.
And then I'm the wrong guy to push away. I was like, man, I thought we were friends. We can
Sure.
do something together.
Yeah.
So other than saying a foul language right now. I'm like, F you, man.
Cool.
That's fine.
I like that.
And I still respect him, but I mean, we could have been better friends, but Scott's Scott. That's why I say it.
Hey, look at Brian. We got a question up there from Tyler Johnson. He wants to know, do you think you will ever get behind the wheel again? Now, do I ask your wife that, or do I ask you?
I think I'm done racing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. You know, I remember, you know, I never raced at the level that you raced at, Brian, but we won an IMCA modified national title. 87, we won 36 features, so we had some glory years in a modified.
Yep.
Certainly not a touring car like you got. But I remember, you know, my wife sitting down going, hey, you know, enough's enough. Time to coach the ball team and help with the kids and do this and that. And, you know, at that time, I'm going to say I was probably 42 years old, right around there.
Yep.
And I said, you know, it's time. And so I've been able to, you know, announce races and, you know, work some touring series and do that and still be around the sport I love. And I get to go watch for free. And yet, you know, I bring in revenue for the family, and my wife likes that part of it.
Yes.
And so, you know, I had people ask me, hey, you know, you're quitting and, you know, you can still win. So, you know, I sit here and I, you know, look across the table at you, Brian. I know you can still win. And you just come to a point where you go, hey, this is it.
Well, I mean, Knoxville, because I pretty much told some people, like in 14, I really had this feeling in my heart that, like, this is it. I knew where the sport was going. It's about talent, money, you know, luck and all that, but there's so much money. You need the talent to win, but you got to have money. You got to have backing.
Yeah.
And I'm not an ass kisser.
You know,
So you have to ass kiss. Yeah, I ass kiss that. Other than that, but no, I can't.
Alyssa
ass
married
kiss
you. You did it once in your life.
Yeah, one time. That's
Okay,
it.
all right.
There you go.
one
We're
and
in
done,
agreement
man.
on that one.
One and done. But so that weekend, I knew, because I think we ran third on Thursday night, then we won Friday night, and like I can remember James Essex, you know, kind of like Friday, or even Saturday, people asked me like, yeah, I think I'm quitting, and like everybody was floored I was going to quit, but I didn't want to do it. I mean, I still had the competitive fire in me somewhat, but I couldn't dictate my money, because I didn't, you know, I'm not going to go out and, you know, Jason Round gave me an opportunity here the last couple of years.
I
And I,
remember that.
you know,
Yeah.
Jason's a great guy. He got, you know, he's a hardworking SOB.
Right.
Sorry about that. but I'm just, I want to run the show myself, and
Sure.
I just can't do it. So like, man, it's better to walk off in the sunset.
At the
And
top of your game. Now,
Well,
that's the
I don't
time to
even-
leave.
Well, yeah, but I
know?
came back and didn't mess around the last few
But
years.
you know
so
what?
I came back to where I got lucky winning the Nationals in 14.
Oh,
Well, I drove my ass off, but
come on. Huh?
I had
You know
fun.
what? I
When
get
you-
the
when you
luck
get
thing.
somebody-
I mean, I remember pulling down Victory Lane and, you know, the tire goes flat and you go, well, I was lucky tonight.
Right.
But you still
Right.
got to drive your ass off.
oh
Well,
yeah.
Well, and if I can push pause for a second, only 2 people in the history of late model racing have won the World 100 twice and the Knoxville Nationals twice, and one of them is joining us right now.
Right.
I mean, so
Thanks, man.
that's
That's
more,
awesome.
That's more than
Yeah.
just luck, buddy. That's more than just luck.
That'll
really
change though. There'll be
I have a
another guy
ton-
that does
ton
that.
of
But
respect.
anyway,
Yeah.
Right, but right now,
I appreciate
that's
that.
it. So, and one of the things, the huge tip of my cap, and why I've been a huge fan of yours for a long time, is that you're not one of the national touring guys. You run on a regional basis, on a limited budget compared to what the big boys have. Yet you've accomplished these huge things. You know, you went from almost unknown to you virtually burst on the scene. What was it, 97? Where all of a sudden you started winning.
oh yeah, we won a
shows, you know.
we won a Summer Nationals, and Bob Pierce will tell the best story, because Bob Pierce started right behind me, and you know, he got to me at Cresco, and it was rubbered up.
Yep.
But I mean, Bob had so much respect for me, and I love Bob Pierce.
Yeah. Good man.
He had so much respect. He bumped me around a little bit. And he can tell the story. He tells the story probably every once a year to somebody. But that I got that 10 grand there, and then, you know, but you know, you got to win one. You got to start being competitive. And once you get that top 3, man, the inner drive gets harder. You know, I mean, you just like, man, I'm gonna stay up later. I'm gonna work harder. I mean, my wife would know me. You know, hell, when Cruz was born, I was at the shop working.
That's because you were finishing a car for Rusty Zook.
Yeah, I was finishing the car because I was trying to make money, but had to go race too in
Yeah.
Nebraska or somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just
Yeah. Bunch of
you got to live and die.
All right.
And that's probably part of the reason I quit. It becomes everything, and I tried to do everything.
Okay.
I mean, I had good crew guys, one here, one there, but man, I'm like a hands-on guy. I want
That's just who you are.
Yeah.
That's the way you're wired.
Yeah, well, that's like my dad. My dad's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to do it my way, and I want to do everything,
Good for him.
I
But
want to
then-
throw in my 2 cents quick.
Go ahead, Alyssa.
1997 was the first time we went to the Dream, and he made the feature.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the announcer said he was the only Howe car in the whole field.
Nice.
Oh, man. That's something.
That's for Ed Howe right there, and
You got it,
up in the
brother.
heavens, man.
You know it.
But to go from racing West Liberty and Davenport, and you can be a stud in West Liberty and Davenport and not take anything away from that because that's phenomenal. But to then step on a national stage and win at a place like Eldora that's not local, that really takes it up a notch. And I think your first win there was when, 98, something like that? Was the first time
Yeah,
you went there?
the fall nationals.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, you show up. I mean, we were Masterbuilt car running. We ran well, and I'm thinking Shane Yoder, he was the stud there. And this is a little. The flying Hawaiian. A little side story. We had a caution. With like, I don't know, 4 or 5 to go, and he pulls up beside him and he's warming his tires up. Like, yeah, I know you're the stud here, and I'm like, I warmed mine up, and then we actually hit right front to left rear, and it was like I was kind of trying to throw something back. Like, come on, man, don't intimidate me.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about respect. All right, so the superstar pulls up beside you. Like, you know what? That's F you, man. I'm here. You got to pass me first.
Right.
You got to have some
Yeah.
confidence in yourself about some of that stuff. And that's what I'm basically kind of telling the younger guys racing. Don't let them guys, and they race you clean. Race them clean. If they want to be dicks, you be dick back.
I like that. Hey, we got some more questions up there. Let's see. Sarah Healy, what's the next concert you're looking forward to going to?
Oh, man. Probably, I guess my wife is a huge Firehouse.
Oh, boy.
I think she wants to date the Firehouse lead singer, so. They were just at Milan, and CJ Snare couldn't even show up, so good thing we didn't. Good thing we didn't go. Good thing we didn't go.
Oh, man. How do you like that? Tyler Johnson, did you read what he says? It's all good. You're still a badass, and put the boot in Black Sunshine's ass.
You know what? I want to tell us that whole deal was Wayne Castleberry.
Yeah.
So we got introduced walking out for Knoxville, and because I started on the pole, so apparently Scott came out and said something, and
I never heard what.
I never heard what Scott
said.
said. So he
Right.
come up there. You got to say this. You guys, I don't want to talk shit.
Yeah.
I just want to go out there and race and be good.
You got
And then
it.
afterwards, I really don't want to talk shit again. I'm like, hey fans, enjoy this. Let's go have some beer.
There you go.
That's me.
All
But like,
right.
all right, you got to be the WWE type. And I'm like, I never watched that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I just like, let's go
Come
have
on.
fun. Let's kick some ass if we can, and then let's drink some beer.
All right.
Nice.
That sounds like a plan.
Just some.
So, Alyssa, can you imagine how his elbows would have been up if he would have heard that, though? I mean, that's what. So, I used to get teased a lot about racing pissed.
Yeah.
Because, my
drove
team would
better
always come
pissed.
in and say, yes, ooh, yeah, Patrick's pissed. Look out.
Yeah.
I said, he'll come from the back if he's pissed,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that-
it's like
yeah.
it's like your nutsack drops a little extra when you're
That's
pissed.
what in sprint cars, they call it elbows up. You get your elbows up. You torque me off, and oh,
It's
man.
on now.
I'm easy going until I got that Irish up, and then look out.
Hey, we got another
look out.
question up there from Jay Thomas. It says, hey, guys, good to see you. What was your favorite food that Grandma Burkhoffer made for the races every weekend? I don't know
Oh,
what that was. I love
that
food.
has to be
Blue pickles.
no. I'm just thinking of the fried
Oh, the loose meat hamburger.
loose
and
meat
fried
hamburger. Yeah,
potato.
every Saturday at lunchtime with my dad, we'd go up to the
It didn't
house.
matter what we were doing. Had to be grandma's. And
Oh
do it
yeah,
on Saturday.
my
Oh,
grandma.
my
Oh,
God.
And it was like Thanksgiving every Saturday.
and don't forget,
That's awesome.
don't forget apple pie.
Homemade
All right.
ice cream.
Oh
that.
man,
Homemade
delicious.
You know the better.
Hey, thanks for tuning in on YouTube as well. Also, I'm going to take a quick minute to make sure that you guys like and share, please. Well, if you're on Facebook, on YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, please make sure that you like and share. It helps
All
us
right.
all.
Yeah, good. Hey, we're going to have a couple of questions here, and we're going to give away a couple of door prizes, and they are autographed by Brian Birkhofer, and there are a couple of racing banners you can put in your race shop. You can put them down the man cave or wherever you want to put them at. But Brian, you'll autograph those before you leave. And
Whatever
then,
you need me to do, man.
All right, dude. So then we're going to have them at our studio here at 1414 West Locust Street. If you're one of the winners, you'll stop by and pick them up.
Yeah,
And so
without a doubt.
couple of banners we're going to give away, autographed by Brian Birkhofer. And, okay, the first questions we got is the first one we're going to ask is, we need you to tell us how many racing T-shirts. Now, we're not talking about Brian's own shirt with Burkhoffer on it. We're talking about Pat's over there in a Simpson shirt. And it could be, a little bit of everything. Today I had on a Hickson shirt. So how many racing T-shirts does Brian Birkhofer own that he wears when he's doing stuff?
Now, this is a question for the giveaway.
For the giveaway.
All right.
Yeah. How many
What was the
T-shirts?
question again?
How many racing T-shirts does Brian have that he wears in the shop, wears to the races, wears whatever? Not necessarily his. They're just racing shirts like you and I got.
Race related.
Just race related.
Probably
There you go,
more for us
Alyssa.
to be product sponsors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Hey,
I'm
we
glad-
bought something from
Nice.
Performance Bodies, and then we get 6 T-shirts with the nose.
Tyler Johnson, 25
and
is
how
not
did they-
good.
How did they answer, Shane?
How do they answer? Right there.
In the comments, right?
Yeah, right in the
So
comment
guys, make
section.
sure
Go
you
ahead and
comment,
answer.
please.
Hey, look at this. Dave Walden says, I got to flag Brian to his winning and that just moved on me.
Winning the
winning
Illinois State Championship,
at
yeah.
Peoria, and he still got the flag.
That's awesome, man.
That's kind of cool.
I think if I seen him, I would remember him, but that's the problem with me. Like, people's names come up,
Sure.
and I'm terrible with names. My wife will like, no, I can't remember anybody's name.
I could tell
I'll
you
walk
guys.
out, forget your name.
Yeah, right. Just
And you know what? I'm the exact same way. And so my son teases me all the time. I tell everybody, I call everybody buddy. So walking through the pits, I'm like, hey,
What's up,
hey,
dude?
Yeah, how you
Dude
doing,
or
man?
buddy?
yeah, he
Bro.
remembers me.
Oh, I think I just blew it, didn't I?
That's right.
This is going to stay amongst us four, right?
So we'll continue to talk, and when I see a correct guess up there,
You know what's crazy
we'll
is
let you know
like
who
these
the winner
people
is.
should remember something about me in the last few years.
Right.
They
There's a
could get
couple of them that
they
are
could get the
close.
number if they just remember anything about what I'm a fan of.
Okay, there's a hint. Let's see.
Jeremy Hans, that's the guy that rescued us out of the river.
yeah.
And what's that? Jeremy Hunt says Brian's a great race driver, but not so much of a great
Hey,
boat
I wasn't
driver.
driving, but I did ride in that boat when I don't know what broke the back of the boat
They
out.
think we hit a
I was riding in the
railroad tie
back
below
drinking
the
beer,
surface.
and all of a sudden, boom! Oh man, we got water.
So I always
Hold
wondered
it right there.
There it
we
is.
have
We
a winner.
Ding, ding, ding.
Joe Drexler
Joe,
guessed
yeah.
31st. 30 is the correct number. Brian has
you go.
30
Nice.
racing T-shirts. I'm going to write that down. Joe Drexler.
Steph Curry.
Now, Joe, if you're local here, you can stop in. You can pick it up at the Dunright Studio, 1414 West Locust Street. We'll have it waiting for you, and you just stop in anytime this week during the day. If you need me to mail that to you, let's say you're out of town, then I can do that too. But let's just say we'll have it at the front of the studio. We'll have another question later on because we got plenty of time left. Hey, by the way, Wook, let's get back to Brian. He's out on a jet ski. We're going to take a look at that one
I'm
here.
always surprised when people put
Facebook?
race car drivers in a
What?
boat.
Now,
You know?
now I'm
Now,
scared.
Brian,
Oh, Wisconsin Dells.
yeah.
There you go.
Wisconsin
Yeah,
Dells. There
there's
you
the
go,
boys.
Brian.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the
Nice.
boys. Look at them.
Nice.
We had to follow you around all day with a camera for that one.
Yeah, I bet.
That's the one. That's the one where we were
The
pulling
jet ski.
the
There's
tube.
her best friend's jet
Yep.
ski. That was a nice. That's
Yeah.
she
Very
sold it.
nice.
She got tired of shining it up.
Oh, my God.
She
very
didn't have to
cool.
do it herself. You can pull a tube with this jet ski.
Oh, my God.
And
Hell
we
yeah.
were pulling
Thing's got some power.
you were pulling my brother-in-law, and the tube flipped, and I'll be danged if he didn't come back up and he was still on it.
Are you kidding me?
And
Okay.
I bet Berkey never let off, did he?
Nope.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
I don't want to be on that tube.
So I can't swim. So I love the water, but I can't swim. So I remember my dad saying I remember
Don't fall
one,
off the
one of the
tube.
first
You know
times
what's-
I drove a race car. He goes, "You do not need to be in a boat."
That's why you
That
wear
is
a
so
life
crazy.
jacket.
This guy drives a sprint car, but he doesn't swim.
Doesn't swim. How do you like that? Come on,
Oh,
man.
you know, crazy.
Wear a life jacket.
All the time. Just think about all the times we crash. I don't want to drown too. That stuff hurts enough as it is. I don't want to drown.
Okay. Nathan, when I'm looking on our screen, just to answer you, Joe Drexler, and it's how it loads on our computer screen here. was one right above you. Nathan, you were number 2 getting the correct number.
Sorry, man.
Just fill you in. Yeah, Brian, sorry.
There's more questions coming.
We're going to have more questions, right? You might win the next one. Yeah. So that's great. So
So one of the things that I wanted to ask, Berkey, one of the cool parts that and we talked about it a little bit, not only were you started to come onto the scene with the big win in Eldora, then all of a sudden you started winning not just locally, but nationally. Like in 2000, I think you ended the season with a win in Florida.
Yeah, we went down to East Bay, and I mean, people could probably get on here like, man, he sucks in Florida. He should never go. I did. I spent a lot of money going down there just because I felt like you had to go to Florida to like get yourself beat up to prepare for the year coming.
Sure.
But then I kind of figured out later in my career, I quit going. Like, well, I go down there and just spend money, and I come home, I feel like an idiot, like I have no talent.
Plus, we go on vacation, so we spend more money.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So talk to the people. Tell us about how's that different from running Davenport? What's East Bay? How's
East Bay?
East Bay different
Well, I
than
mean,
Davenport?
my buddy, I'm gonna call him Mike Wazowski, Andy Nazworski, if anybody knows Andy. We call him Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. But anyway, we just like his name. So he went down there this past year or so.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, man, it's like you're driving straight, but you're driving sideways. It's like it's kind of insane. In the track, you think, oh, you just put hard tires on. No, you just gotta wing it and go. You're sideways a lot. But like him, I don't really know what he felt like with having no motor, but it's just a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, and that's especially getting to travel as much as I have. I realize the difference between running in Minnesota versus here, or Red Rock up where it's red and sandy, or down in Florida where it's sandy, or out in the West Coast where the tracks get really heavy late at night as a track.
Yeah,
goes on.
as the tide comes in, like that's East Bay. Like,
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Or you go to the Carolinas, and it's like it'll just wear stuff out,
right?
And everything's stained for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I hate that stuff. Never take a white car down there.
No.
You come home and you wash it, and your car's pink.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way.
Hey, so you run a car in 2018 for Jason Rowan. Boy, you got Run the World Outlaws Series. Let's see, Dubuque. You had a good run. I think then you went to Deer Creek and got a 9th place running that car. You ended up switching from Longhorn to Black Diamond. What was with the Black Diamond? Did you like that better than the Longhorn?
Well, man, this is a
big story.
It's not a big story. It's just like, well, Jason and Ronnie Stuckey, I think they were together. I think Jason was helping Ronnie or whatever. So it is what it is. But to be polite about all of it, Ronnie's a hard worker.
Okay.
But you can't copy something and try to go fast.
Right.
You got to develop it and work through it yourself a little bit.
Sure.
I know the whole racing program now is you copy a lot and you go. Because and just a little other side story here is Jimmy Mars and, Jimmy and Chris and I built cars back in 07, 08.
MB Customs.
Yes. Yeah. And then we got to a point where in 13, I just felt like we weren't seeing stuff eye to eye, so to speak. Maybe it was more me than them.
Yeah.
And I went over because I missed the race at Knoxville, and we were going to make the race, and I had a flat on the last lap. But make a long story short, I went over and I stood by my buddy Brian Doherty, who's from Integra, Kaiser, and Richards and them. They already stand in the same point. And I've been friends with Mark Richards for quite a few years. Had cars, multiple, a couple different times.
Yeah.
So we stood there and I just looked at Mark and said, Mark, can I get cars next year? Yeah. So that was it.
That was it.
I went and I'm like, I knew I was going to quit, with Jimmy and Chris and go get a rocket car.
Sure.
Knowing I'm going to bring it home and do it all my own way.
Yeah. Right.
But I know Mark would just already, hey, man, this is what we're doing. You do your thing, Brian.
Yeah.
And that's how Mark always approached me. He let me do my own thing.
Good.
Because I was always a little off from everybody else because I just had I had to make it my way, and that's just my own ignorance. That's how I always did it. So,
very cool.
Good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just want to give you guys all the stories that I got, the little insides in my brain.
And so that's an interesting transition. And one of the things that I also appreciate about you is looking back at the videos from the early 2000s, compare that and maybe talk a little bit about the difference between the cars, because you went through a huge transition of where you were running all the time, where the cars in the early 2000s they didn't move much more than this model did, but then you transition on into the teens and into the 20s, where now the cars are jacked up on the bars and moving, moving all over the place, and they're a totally different animal, at least
Crushing
from the
the
outside.
right front. I mean,
it's
at least from the outside than they are back when you got into it. How did you work through the transition and stay competitive as the cars changed like that?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is like if you watch 2002, I mean, back then you thought you were getting movement.
Yeah.
And then you watch 2010.
right.
And then you go to 14 and you were getting more movement. And then, I quit and I wasn't really around, wasn't really thinking about it, watching them maybe a little bit. And then you come back and I get in 16 and 17 and 18. I mean, it's all about, these guys want these cars to be wedge cars.
Right.
That's all they want. They want the car smashed on the right front. They want the deck, a mount. They want a 1982 wedge car. But, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, maybe the Lucas Oil, World of Outlaws, I see enough stuff. There's some illegal stuff that happens on body stuff. Man, they could probably tune this back down and make the racing a little different, because my experience in the last few years racing them, you cannot race around behind people at times. I mean, the guy out front, it's like NASCAR was, 10 years ago.
Why is that?
You'd have to ask them guys.
Are they so aero dependent that you
Well,
can't?
because they're allowing the cars to get like this ultimate grip with a wedge car. So
Right.
you're blasting a spot in the air, huge, where you're racing behind him. Like, I have downforce. All right, I entered. Oh, I missed it, and you're sliding all the way to the cushion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or if you're too straight, well, you push.
Yeah, you see a lot of times the guys will slide across in front of a guy and it takes the front end out. So all of a sudden you see the front wheels just totally pushed.
Yeah,
where all of
and
a
it's
sudden
not
you can
necessarily
slide.
all that time. And I mean, some talented guys will get through some of that different, but it's more of like what the the different Lucas Oil and World of Outlaw they're allowing these guys to get these cars to punch this air. I mean, it's getting like NASCAR. I mean, I'm not a NASCAR fan. NASCAR has actually turned around the last year or so.
They really have.
It's starting to get more competitive.
It's getting to the point where I went through a period of time where I wouldn't even watch it because I was just so
Exactly.
upset with it. And now the last year, Kyle Larson, a few other things going on like that, what they're doing with the cars, I thought, I'm going to watch a race.
I like listening to Clint Boyer. He tells it like it is.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
doesn't
Clint Boyer.
he?
Yeah, exactly. I never really met Clint before, but obviously he's owned dirt cars. So, yeah, it's hilarious listening to him.
Hey, we got a listener up there. Joe Drexler says, OU812 set fast time at Farley. What kind of chassis was that, Brian?
That was Black Diamond.
It was Black Diamond? Okay.
Yep.
All right. And are you doing any work inside the racing industry right now? Making parts or fabrication, or running your own business, or what's going on?
I'm working at my shop. I'm a jack of all trade, a master of none, or jackass of all trade,
Hey, I
master
like
of
that.
none.
Okay.
I like that. I'm gonna
So,
have cards
Brian,
made
when you
like
say
that's
that, are you tell people what you're doing? I mean, when you say it, I mean, you'll work on anything. Is it you'll work on a race car? You'll work on a street car? I mean, wherever you can make money at?
Yeah, I built a couple of rat rods. I'm working on a 58 Chevy pickup frame for a friend of mine, Jason Sell. We're putting Corvette suspension under it, and then working on my son's car for Tom Hans that he's gonna race.
Duck blinds.
I work on
My
anything.
God.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be a
When do you
mechanic.
sleep?
Can boxes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like I work 8-10 hours a day.
Somebody said, yeah, but
Oh yeah. When you say yeah, but in our
it's a new drinking game.
yeah, we have it. If you say yeah, but got a drink.
I like that.
Oh man, I think
I like
Kelly's
that.
probably got something back in his desk we can go get. So, with the show will get real fun then. Man, that's great. So hey, I talked to Bob Pierce probably about 3 years ago, and back in the Stone Age, he used to run a modified. So I always liked Bob Pierce. He's a great guy, easy to talk to. But he was saying back then that it costs $500,000 to run a top late model team 3 years ago, and they won a lot that year, and we broke even. I mean, is that kind of a number that sounds right?
I don't
Brian?
think Well, personally, I never had to spend that much, but I didn't do what they did.
Okay.
Even Bob or Mark Richards always told me, you better have at least 600,000
All right.
to win 700.
Okay.
And that's with Brandon Shepard, dominating a lot.
Right.
Mark, he just said, man, you got to, but they have a tire guy. They have a body guy. They're that group of guys, they've came to our shop, great bunch of dudes. Nice guys, very clean dudes. But, they get paid well, but they show up, they work. They probably don't drink a whole lot. They're focused to their task at hand.
Now, your shop's still down on 61.
Yep.
Now, Brian, answer me a question. Randy Sell, how is he related? Scott Sell, any of the Sells?
Oh, Randy lives over on 22.
He does, okay.
Yeah.
And is he a relative of yours? Or?
No.
Oh,
So
he used to always
Randy's-
talk about you all the time.
Isn't
So
it Randy's daughter was a Burkhoffer, or his daughter?
Oh no, it's
something, or
it's
her grandparents.
her mom is a.
Her mom is a Burkhoffer.
Well,
I
somebody's
think.
going to get on here and
And fix
like
it for
throw
him.
me under the bus. I don't really pay attention to the family tree
So
yeah.
until somebody says, "Hey, I'm related to you."
I think
Oh, all right,
it's all the
sorry.
same tree but different branches.
Okay.
There you go.
All
Like,
right.
we don't get together at family reunions.
Yeah. Well, I don't really go to a whole lot of family reunions. I don't know, because I was gone or I was like,
Just busy. Doing
yeah,
stuff.
busy. I don't know. I'm just kind of an asshole, I think. But
Oh, okay.
Hey, one of the things that I didn't realize until I was doing some research on this, and again, huge amount of respect. In 2007, Shane, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Berkey actually got an invite and ran the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals down in Tulsa.
yeah, you talk about something way different from me.
Yeah, tell us about that. First of all, how'd that come about?
Well, my buddy Don Martin from St. Louis, he's friends with multiple racers and friends with the Knippers.
Yeah.
Yep. Got a couple people to sponsor and put me in the ride. And you hot lap. I didn't feel like I fit in the car. Felt like my knees were smashed against the steering box, and it was like, man,
Welcome to midget racing.
yeah, and then it's all about being sideways.
Right.
There's a McCready talked to me a bunch. It's like trying to get me to like, hey man, just and I was like, I just don't feel comfortable. I'm like, well, I sucked. Whatever, but I had fun. It was a blast.
Until you left to go home.
Well,
That's my favorite part of this whole story.
I don't know if we want to tell them that story.
But you don't have to tell them why you got a ride home.
That's why we couldn't find the results.
Yeah, I think I made it to the E main I was in the E or F or G. I don't know what it was,
Sure.
but it was fun.
But so in your defense, and for those viewers that don't know, there are 200 now. There's almost 300 cars that run on Saturday alone. So they actually start at 10 o'clock in the morning and they run nonstop until like 11 o'clock at night with mains.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's like literally 300 cars, and there'll be 2 like G mains, 2 F mains, 2 E mains, all the way up.
Yep.
So even if you make a main like that, it's still a huge accompliment.
Oh, there's
and also maybe some people don't realize that Tim McCready's actually run really, really well at the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals as well.
every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell,
So
he's
it
won
was
it once, and he's
yeah.
flipped out of the park once.
That's right. Hurt his back.
So all the years you raced, Brian, did you have a favorite track you liked? Did you like quarter mile, half mile, long, big track?
Well,
You won at Lernerville.
yeah, that's a different. I'm still surprised I won at Lernerville, and I'm so happy because I'm a big Steelers fan.
Yeah.
So when I was up there, they're like, well, only thing better is if Palomalo comes over and gives me this trophy. That'd be the only thing better.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been cool?
Oh,
That
it would have
been
been cool. I probably would have, my pants. But
Hey,
yeah.
so Pat, who do you like in the NFL?
I'm on the fence.
Okay.
I'm a Bear.
Come on. I'm Bears all the way.
I'm
Hey,
a Bears fan,
we
but,
suck,
but I'm an honest Bears fan, and man, they get on my nerves. I love
they
them
do.
and I hate them.
Right.
Last time the Bears played the Steelers, the Bears beat them, so you got that.
And I think
That's
that
the only
might
we
have been
got, though.
It might have been like the only victory that year. So somehow my son, my 12-year-old son, is a Packers fan, and
Oh, he's nervous now. What's Aaron Rodgers doing?
yeah, he's
right.
gonna come back. Who are
Yeah,
we kidding?
he's coming
But
back.
what,
Give me a
he's been
break.
able to beat up on me. Oh yeah, Dad, are you gonna come over to the good side?
Right.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think I dropped him on his
And what
head.
is Ben Roethlisberger? Is he like 100 years old now or something like that?
He's 112.
Oh, okay. I was guessing that.
I got a pair of his autographed shoes in my basement, man.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
You know,
That is awesome.
he never runs the ball. He just kind of stands there like a mountain, and they can't knock him down.
That's right. Yeah.
Now it's a check down though.
Yeah.
He don't want to even get hit anymore. He used to get his nose broke and play through it. Now he check down. Check down.
Oh man. Well, Spencer Dirks has commented, "There'll never be another 15B." You know, and that's a young kid. He's held
Spencer, listen, man, I've met him a few times, and he's a nice kid, and he's gonna be upset when I say this, but when I see him, I was like, he looks like Peyton Manning's son.
Wow.
I could see that.
And
All right,
sorry,
Spence.
Spencer.
Yeah.
But he does. He looks like Peyton Manning's son. I'm like, dude. But no, he's a good. He's a hell of a racer, man. He'll drive. He'll drive hard.
Yes, he
one
is.
thing about Spencer, he'll drive hard.
Now, Chris Green's asking, will Cruz ever run a late model?
Well, depends if Cruz wants to and if we can afford to. But
There's no we if Cruz can afford to run.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
that.
Come on, Mom.
Well, I don't want to. I don't want to just put him out in a late model, even if I could.
I know.
Like afford a crappy one.
Yeah, I get it.
You gotta. I got the talent to put him in a good car if we can afford it.
Right.
But I mean, I'd rather he impress the right person, and then like, hey,
Let somebody else foot the bill, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
But so if you're going to put your son in a car today to run, let's say Davenport, where would you start him out at?
like what class?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, like I guess it'd be an IMCA late model or something like that, right?
Okay.
You know, like Mike Wazowski.
Great car.
Yeah.
Like,
Old Andy, our buddy.
Nice. Yeah.
Man, he's got it going on this year.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he
yeah,
does.
we watched him when we were up there, and yeah, he drives her hard.
You know, the funny thing about him is he's running E85 fuel. You know, everybody else out there spending $10 a gallon for racing fuel. And
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I know, and I think he's
E85
laughing.
somewhere.
I think he laughs every time every lap he goes by. He's like, "Ha ha, I got E85."
yeah.
I'm like, so do
Great
you,
late model and E85. That's why I love this thing.
do you like pull
This
up
is
over
awesome.
Dittmers and gas your race car
Yeah,
up?
I know.
I mean, how's that work?
And he goes out there, but he drives that car hard,
he
man.
does,
Him and
my
that Kai, those two put on a good show.
They do. They do. They drive them things in so deep. You're like, my God, it ain't going to stick. And it sticks.
So funny story. Maybe you guys don't realize this, and not take anything away from you, but did you guys realize that Indy, they actually do that with the Indy cars? They actually they put the things on rollers and they roll them over to the gas pumps. They have gas pumps behind the garages, and that's where they fill them up.
All right.
Yeah, I was in the garages.
Oh,
one
yeah.
time, and
Crazy.
I was like, where are they taking the car? Oh, they're taking over there to fill it up. I'm like, what?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
they take it over to a gas
easier
pump.
than putting that. Oh,
I know.
I
It's
gotta
like,
load it.
how many times do we lift the 5-gallon jugs and pour it in the back? I'm like, where are they taking the race car over to fill it up? I'm
Why
like,
wouldn't
what?
they just be like farmers?
How much?
and have
How
the
much fuel does one of them
500-gallon
hold?
I don't know.
30 gallon, 20 gallon,
Yeah,
what?
something like that.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
But
A
yeah,
lot of
they have
fuel.
pumps over there, isn't that
Wait,
weird?
that's a question for somebody else up here. Hey,
There
how
we
many?
go. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, we got, so what's his all-time favorite track?
Man, I honestly, West Liberty or even Davenport, Iowa,
Yeah.
at its best though.
At its best. Hey, I got you.
Davenport, Iowa, back when the half mile was the half mile,
was
because
just
right
gonna
now
ask.
it ain't been like that for I don't know 15 years.
You know, when I go up to Liberty, and, I went there a lot of years. I mean, when I'm talking about, we're going back to the 80s, I'm running mods. That was the place to be, was West Liberty, Iowa. I mean, that's where, all the name drivers went.
Back when they actually prepared the tracks.
Yeah. And my God, you look at that place now, and, okay, I shouldn't even say that. I announce up at Liberty whenever they have shows up there.
Yeah.
So I got a show coming up next Wednesday, I believe. it
Oh
was.
yeah,
Fair
yep,
race.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
fair
Fair
race.
race.
That's right.
So it saddens my heart, and I tell him, Mark Kloop is on the fair board.
Yep,
And
I know Mark.
I tell Mark,
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I says, if you buy the paint, I mean, I'll even paint the wall. Paint the wall. The grandstands needs, a facelift. And,
Oh, yeah.
And the announcer's booth and all that stuff. I mean, it just needs like a fresh coat of paint would, work wonders. And I know it's a lot of paint, but there's no reason why you couldn't find somebody to go out. You got a lot of rich farmers in West Liberty. So, I mean, why wouldn't somebody
yeah,
buy some
yeah.
paint
There's
for
there's
that
plenty
track?
of money around there.
I mean, I'll go up there, throw a sprayer, 5-gallon bucket in the back of your truck. You drive, and I'll spray. And
I would say one thing. Yeah, you can do that, or you can sponsor a bunch of diesel fuel, and you rip the track open like they used to do. Like one of
With
the
a
best
scarifier.
promoters ever was Al Frieden.
Al Frieden, man.
He would
no
rip
kidding.
the track open,
Yeah.
water it, work it back in, sheep's foot, water, pound the track back open. But you can't show up on Thursday or Friday or Saturday and like prepared to have a racetrack.
It's
Their
the way-
laziness and preparation of a racetracks now is insane.
It's
like,
insane.
We're gonna have a good race. Yeah, whatever.
I'd have people tell me, that, I'd say, because I promoted races too, and I'd say, hey, like at East Moline, we'll give you an example. I get there Thursday night when the sun's going down, I'd throw down 7,000 to 10,000 gallons of water, and we'd pound it, pack it, and then I get there Friday night when the sun's going down, so it doesn't bake it out.
Yep.
We'd put down another 7,000 to 10,000. We do it Saturday. Sunday, I get there at 8:00 in the morning, and then I'd touch the thing up in the afternoon. But we had 4 days of watering that track.
Yeah, you got to get it.
with the
It's got to get down in there.
Got to get down in there.
That's right.
And so I had a promoter tell me, "Oh, Shane, I do all that." And then I'm driving over the track and I'm looking at it and literally showing up at noon and prepping the track. And I'm like, man, you just can't do it that way. And it happens way too much. I go around to announce these shows, and I got to tell you, now I'm not going to have an announcing job, but it's disappointing to me because I want I want the drivers to put on the best possible show for the fans. And when they're kicking up dust in hot laps, we ain't even run time trials yet, and the track's getting dusty. And then you run into one of those, rubber down racetracks. And, Pat's been with me before.
Yep.
And it almost smells like they got a stack of tires burning behind you. I mean, the rubber smell is that strong.
The biggest thing for me, though, is you walk across racetracks now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I don't know, 20 years ago, you would see sheep's foot holes this big.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see a sheep's foot hole anymore?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That sheep's foot hole, it's there. It's probably, I don't know, ½ inch deep.
Right.
I mean, it ain't down in there.
I'll say one thing. And I work a lot of different tracks.
Yep.
Ricky Kai and Dr. Al.
Dr. Al.
Of all the tracks that I work,
Yeah, they do.
They do the best job.
Well, they have the best work ethic. I mean,
they
them
do.
guys, they'll work.
Yeah.
They'll try.
So, 2 years ago, we had Jimmy Owens, B. Shep, and Kay Dillard swap the lead 4 or 5 times in the last 10 laps.
Yep.
And they went crazy. So when I went down and Shep won the show, and I went down and talked to Jimmy Owens before I went over to Shep, but Owens said he had race on a track like this every night.
Absolutely.
Just because, it had bite in it and 3
Absolutely.
lanes, and, it just it puts on a show for the fans. Fans don't want to see train racing.
That's right.
They just don't
Well, I
wanna
mean,
see it.
the other aspect to that, either they want to see that or they want to see last Thursday?
Yeah.
For the Summer Nationals.
Yeah.
They reworked the track at
Yes, they
Davenport.
Right.
And I've never seen a track go wide open or be that aggressive for at least 15 laps.
Oh, my God.
I
Was
mean,
that great.
whatever Ricky and I don't
And
know if they
Dr.
put
Al.
they put Dr. Al.
Farmer Rick and Dr. Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, Al? Deloitte. But they whatever they did, if they put a little Dawn dish soap in there, but they did something to get that stuff sticky, and they drove their asses off
I'm
for a
telling
while.
You, that was a hell of a show.
Yes, it
Yep,
was.
yep.
It really was.
Yep.
What else we got here? Fairbury's got the Bass track prep. That's Jen Crouch.
And Chris Green asked what you thought. One of his questions.
I just read that.
Yeah. What
Kyle
do you think
Larson?
of Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson is probably I wouldn't really thought I'd say this, but he might be God.
You know what? You know what? He's in his own world.
I think God has came down. He's driving race cars right now.
And now instead of being, he came down as Jesus one time, died on the cross for our sins, and now he's came down as Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
Second
And-
time.
Hey, but
the
hey,
fact that
I
he
do
can
appreciate
race
one
was
thing.
funny.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. Go ahead.
His wife does. I wonder if she still chugs a beer with him every time he wins.
Oh,
I
my
heard
God.
something about that. I'm like, well, Alyssa wouldn't do that. She might drink some vodka, but that's it.
Oh, come on, Alyssa.
No beer.
No beer, huh?
No beer.
All right.
She shotguns a beer. She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? He's won in a late model, a midget, sprint car, NASCAR. I mean, actually, it was surprising. Yesterday, he didn't win, which was a surprise.
Yeah, with the-
how's
Who
that
won
happen?
yesterday?
Yeah, Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch.
Not KY. KU.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. What else we got on here?
You know what? Jen Crouch says Fairbury has the best track. You know what?
Well, you know what? I forgot about that. Them guys do.
They do a good job.
It used
Yes,
to. We
they
go
do.
over there for the. Because I won it one time and it was slick, and then you kind of went over there and started rubbering up, kind of every other time. Them guys, but they got the equipment. If you have the equipment, they can do it. And those guys, I'm sorry, Fairbury guys.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
They do.
And that goes a long way. And I know Shane and I talk about that,
Sure.
about putting on a good show. You know,
Yeah.
when you have racing for the lead towards the end of the main, I mean that's impressive. You know, obviously the racers got to follow through on it, but shout out goes to the track prep crews. Also, while I'm on it, guys, please make sure you like and share. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. Please make sure that you like and also share it as well.
All right, and Gus Grip said Boone, Iowa. So he likes Boone.
Hey, I've only been there one time.
They do a good job. Man, I've been up there.
I went there one time, though. Here's my complaint.
Okay.
I was racing the late models, right?
Right.
During the
Super Nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go up, hey, when's my heat race? There's 27 heat races of mods.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
I mean,
I probably won't come back.
I'll tell you something, Brian. There was days, back in the day, they'd have 400 mods up there, A mods.
Yes.
And they'd have 40 heat races, and you're like, dude, I'm like in heat race 40, and you're trying to watch things, make it happen. Yeah. And back in the day, before they went to Boone, Iowa, they used to travel around. We had the IMCA Super Nationals at Liberty back in '84, I think it was, and we ran Mason City, Iowa one year for the Super Nationals, but we traveled around. But I remember up at Mason City, Iowa, it was no kidding. My heat race wasn't up till after midnight, and I'm just sitting there going, my God, we still got features to run.
Right.
I'm going down the backstretch and slapping myself in the face and pinching myself trying to wake up. Because, man, you got to let heat coming back off you off the headers. Cool fall night. It's in September. Man, it's nap time.
Nice.
You should have had a couple beers at 6 and then take a nap, and then you'd be ready for
That's
Like
right.
your Red Bull.
That's right.
Hey, Shane, do we have another giveaway?
We got another giveaway. Yeah. Hey, question number 2 for the second giveaway. How many speeding tickets has Brian Birkhofer had? Let's go with the last 10 years.
10 years.
All right. That sounds like a good number. How many speeding tickets has Brian had?
I'm going to have to be like everybody else and look it up on Iowa.
Nah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. And,
They're
and you
looking
want,
it
and
up.
Shane, you want everybody to comment, right?
Yeah.
Comment their answer, please.
Yeah, please comment your answer.
I'm just
We
gonna
used to do a program up there at East Moline. It was called, since I was close to the crowd, I do, I feel the need for speed. So I'd say, hey, anybody that's got a speeding ticket, bring it down here to the announcer's booth. Well, I had a gal was 16. She comes down, and I look at her speeding ticket, and it was like, 39 and a 30 or something like that. But I said, Anessa Smith, and she's got a speeding ticket down here. Wow. I said, she was doing 70 and a 30. And my God, you're going to lose your license, young lady. I hear a woman scream up in the stands. Her mom's up there with her. Didn't even know she had a speeding ticket. And this gal comes charging down there. When she got down to the announcer's stand, I said, hey, I'm just kidding. I said, it was just 39 and the 30, not 70.
Hey, while we're waiting for people to comment, one of the things that I always like to ask our guests is, Berkey, where did you get the 15B? Where's the 15B come? Where's the
Well, when
where's your
I
number?
raced pro stock when I started 88. I had 25 because my dad was number 25, as the picture. 25, and then when I moved to late model, I went to 15.
Okay.
And then I raced 15 through when I started traveling a little bit, and Steve Francis is there. Francis has always been 15.
Yeah.
So I'll put a B on it, and
The old
once I
car.
started to B, I kept it at 15, B. But then there was a sideshow to that as well. I was struggling there. Yeah, now that is
That's your dad's car.
no, that's is that my dad? No, it's my Uncle Fred.
Isn't it?
Okay. It had Daufeld Transport on the back of it, and it was number 15.
I
and
think
thought,
that's.
It is pretty.
Oh, wait, my dad 15. Yeah, 225.
I thought that was your dad's car.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm getting older, man. I forget
Good
stuff.
Well, it's starting to go. We'll have you in a nursing home soon.
I know. No, I'm not going.
I'm
No,
taking
no,
him out
not-
behind the barn.
No.
You
Yeah.
guys have that arrangement done
Yes.
already?
Yep.
All right. I heard nothing. That's right.
Let's go back and see if we've got a winner yet, Wookie, before that gets.
And the question, what was the question one more time, Shane?
How many speeding tickets did Brian have?
I think I saw a
It
couple
looks
winners.
like Chad Wolbers was the first one. Chad Wolbers, you are the winner, and so stop over here at the studio.
I'm wondering what these 25. Who's this lady?
Jen Crouch.
25.
25. My God.
You wouldn't have a license.
Yeah.
That's right. He's
we
not
did bail
driving
you out
to
of
Jenna.
jail to get you on the show tonight, and it was because of speeding tickets.
Hashtag
Hadn't been paid.
Yeah, exactly.
My God. Okay. Hey, do you have a favorite Cup driver, Brian?
Right now,
Yeah.
like the new guys.
Right now.
I'd say probably Chase Elliott.
Okay.
Probably. I never met
Good
him.
guy. Yeah.
I never met him. He seems like I met his dad, Bill. Bill's
Yeah.
a good dude.
Well, remember, Bill came to West Liberty for a special up there one time. They had a Coors 100.
I did a couple
And
autograph
Bill came
sessions
up.
with Bill, and he's a good dude.
Real good dude.
I drank some. After the, when Tony had the deal at Eldora,
Right.
I went there one time and I drank beer with Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's
he's
great.
not racing anymore, but
Yeah, hey,
he's
that's
a
okay.
he's a very fun guy. Kevin Harvick, met him. He's a little different.
All right.
Seems like a nice guy, but I probably wouldn't hang out with him much.
Hey, what about pre-race rituals or superstitions? Now, Gary Webb, was on the show last week, and he was talking about, he used to look at his odometer when he pulled in the racetrack, and if it was an odd number, he thought it was going to be a good night, but if it was an even number, he kind of psyched himself out and think it was going to be a bad night. So he couldn't get over looking at his odometer, so he just put black tape down where the odometer was at, so he couldn't even see it.
Oh, really?
Is that weird? So tell me, do you have any superstitions like that, Brian?
She might be better
Alyssa,
at this.
You got any?
Yeah, listen.
Only thing
what
I
does
know
he do
everybody
that
else's. No.
he
The
doesn't
only thing
put
I've
left
ever
sock
thought
on
was like,
first or anything
if
like that?
if I happened to look at the clock that day and it was 12:34, for some reason, I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, just kind of did something.
I don't know what it was, but I've actually won some races when I saw 12:34. But I always thought it was kind of BS. But
Hey,
so nowadays, I don't race anymore. So if I see 12:34, hey, this afternoon or tonight's gonna be a good night.
Look, she's blushing.
oh my God.
I don't kiss and tell.
Kerry Wyatt has, thanks for all the great memories, Brian. I'll never forget the 2014 Late Model Nationals when you beat Bloomer by a nose.
Yeah. Do we have that? Do we have that video?
I think the best thing about that
would be
Last
Knoxville
lap.
Nationals, Wookie, if we got that thing.
the best part of that race, well, obviously, the racing is fun, and it's very, obviously you drove cars. It's we all have, but you get to that point and you pass, you go around the checkered flag, you go down the backstretch, you're like,
There we go, Brian. That is the one.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Let's boom, hit it.
all right. So
And there we go.
what this last no, yeah, it is the last lap. So I was like grabbing the bottom, and then I'm gonna slide out here. I'm like, I'm going out. I'm gonna hit off two. I'm gonna hit the high side because I could get grip, knowing he was gonna run the bottom.
Yeah.
No, this is
No,
this
this
is
is
one to go.
where I'm
Flag.
starting to catch him a little
Yeah.
bit
We're going to see how many.
because I couldn't really turn in, and so I'm driving clear up to off two here.
Yeah.
Because I started figuring out if I just go up there and manhandle it, I'm gonna get a better run.
And
Man,
look at that drive you got down the back straightaway there.
But I just knew I couldn't beat him. Yeah,
Here
so
we go. This
he's
is
trying to
it.
stay back on the. Yeah, you see that extra
that.
whip there?
Yeah.
Here's where the grandstands are rocking.
Oh, they went
you know what?
crazy.
That could not
Thanks,
be any
Wookie.
better. Yeah, thanks, buddy. And especially having the crowd.
I got to thank Vic Hill for that
I mean,
motor.
that's unbelievable. I'll tell you what, one of my favorite stories. So Griff and I started going to late models just a couple of years ago. One of our first races, I think, was in Dubuque. And I'll tell you what, Shane, I have never heard the crowd scream as loud as when this young man came out.
Yeah,
and
man, they go
came out
crazy
for
over you, Brian.
qualifying. I mean,
You know,
he
a couple of years
they
ago,
just went
They're
They must be all odd people.
No, I'll tell you. Over at Davenport, I'm announcing the show. You run against, you're running Ryan's car. Remember, you went out, you won the heat race, and it was World Outlaw showing the
Oh,
half
yeah,
mile.
yep.
What broke in the rear end? I mean, you come out
Oh,
in the feature,
the-
you led like 3 laps, and then all of a sudden,
The quick change gears splintered, locked it up, and threw the drive shaft out.
Are you
That's when
kidding
they were
me?
crashing because everybody's
they're
like,
crashing down in.
yeah, I come
3 and
off,
4.
I come off forward, I'm like, and I'm like rolling down the front stretch. Red comes out. I roll in all the way over and I park.
Yeah.
I walk all the way up and round, and them guys are standing there, and they like, what the?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the quick change gears, the drive shaft's laying out over there. They didn't even know I broke.
I mean, the crowd went crazy. And so, we love seeing you race. Let's see. 2014 was the first time I took my oldest boy to Knoxville, and he loved it. That was Steven Spiker.
I bet he keeps going back and still enjoying it. Knoxville's awesome. They'll always put a good show on.
Yeah, you know
Without
what?
a doubt.
That's a great track. And Pat, you ran there. I ran there.
Yep,
A
there's-
lot of fun.
I consider that my home track.
I was gonna say, when a sprint car there, I bet that's a.
It is.
A lot of
It
fun.
is.
Did you travel? Did you go out to Pennsylvania?
Yep.
To Williams Grove?
Yep.
Did you wheelie down the backstretch
that
on the
place.
bridge?
I hate that place. And so I always tell my son, especially now that we're getting to to watch a lot of it on TV. I said
Yeah.
that if I grew up racing sprint cars in Pennsylvania, I probably wouldn't be at sprint cars because those guys are crazy.
Oh man, when I go out there and watch sprint cars, I mean them guys down the straightaway, the right front's a foot off the air. I'm whoa.
Well, and with as much stagger as sprint cars run, especially in case you guys aren't familiar with Williams Grove, it's long straightaways. And when I say
Longer
long
than
straightaways,
Iowa.
you have no idea until you're there. You have no idea how long those straightaways are. They're long and narrow, and they love walls around the inside. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, they want to make it really interesting for.
And it looks like you're racing down an alley. I mean,
Yeah,
it's what it looks like.
it's fun.
So
I mean,
it's
it's definitely
nuts.
it's definitely unique.
Brian, a question we ask everybody, and I probably already know the answer to this one, but who was your driving idol growing up? Would that have been your dad?
Well, my dad was my idol.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say that he still isn't my idol. But
Yeah.
my dad's my idol for the work ethic he tried to show me in my life.
Right.
Because my dad he'll work till he's dead.
Yeah.
So my dad's my work idol. And then as far as a driver, man, I'll tell you what, it's hard to beat. I mean, I'd love to say Moyer.
Yeah.
But Bloomquist. Because in my age, when you grow up, you're either a Bloomquist guy or you're a Moyer guy.
Right.
And I raced with Moyer's dad, and I know Billy fairly well. I'm a Bloomquist guy.
Nice.
He's got the long hair. He likes rock and roll. He's a little edgy.
Man.
Billy's the other style a little
The
bit,
other-
so I'm
yeah.
going to say Bloomquist.
Kind of polar opposites. Okay. All right. That's kind of a surprise.
Make sure you
No, I
touch on
like
that one.
Okay.
like it.
Jessica Jones, Alyssa, what's that say?
What's your favorite John Bon Jovi?
Jovi song to listen to before a race.
No, that's John Bovey. Who's John
Bovey?
Bovey?
John Bovey.
Hey, all right, listen.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm a Motley Crue fan. I can't stand John Bovey. That's sarcasm right there. They're trying to mess with me.
They are. Man, living on a prayer. I was going to guess.
Me too. Hey, Berkey, where can people get your gear, your memorabilia? You still have it available?
ASI Racewear. I think ASIRacewear.com probably.
Yes.
I think
texted him earlier. He said that they don't have the things online, but he still has them in the trailer.
All right.
And he said he's got shirts and then bits and pieces of various designs. He's got stickers, tumblers, which I don't even have one. He's got hats, license plates, and he said he'll have all kinds of it at Burlington on Thursday night.
Outstanding.
Oh, hey. All right. We know where to go then. All right. Well, hey, it's about time to wrap things up. We went a little over. But that's okay.
Time flies.
Pat, you got any closing comments?
You know what? It's been a pleasure having you in. You guys are a great guest. Anytime you're around people that you enjoy telling great stories, time flies, doesn't
No
it?
kidding. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian, thanks for coming on, man.
Well, I'm just trying to throw some side things that you guys probably haven't heard of.
Let's hear it.
From just during the night.
Yeah, you
did
did a great job. I mean, I can already tell our numbers by looking up here. We average 6,000 viewers, per show.
Awesome.
Through all the different channels that we put the show out on, and we had Ray Gus Jr. was he was leader.
Yeah, that's right.
At 6,573, let's say, and then Webb came on, and then all of a sudden Webb is at 7,020.
That's right. Mr. Webb.
But
And
Gary
now-
Webb's he's an
legend.
icon.
He is.
Man.
He's
Yeah.
a legend.
And so,
I shouldn't say that. Ray Gus is. If I had to pick between Webb and Gus,
yeah.
I'm a bigger Gus fan than Webb fan because I like to punch Webb back in the day in his nose a couple times. But that's not new to him, I'm sure.
Don't do it, man.
He's a crazy man. He would try to tear my head off.
Yeah, I can tell you a story about down at Peoria Speedway. We were running there in '87, and Webb and Gus, man, they're coming across the line. They get together, and so they're down on the scales. And Webb's getting out of his car, and here comes one of the Eltner's crew, and he unscrewed the jack handle. And we're pitting in the infield, and I'm telling my brother Sam, who likes to fight, I said, just stay out of it, man. I don't want to go to Peoria jail. So this guy starts beating on Webb's hood, okay? And Webb's just staying in his car. He ain't doing anything. And I thought, oh, boy, this is going to get fun. Well, in Peoria, they used to have cops on horses. They come down in the infield riding on the horses. They get this guy. They get him all cuffed up. And, man, all of a sudden, Webb disappeared. I didn't see him by his car. Didn't see him anywhere. Well, he's kind of crouched down, kind of moving through the crowd. The next thing I know, he pops up like a jack
smokes
in the
that guy
box
right in the
and
face.
Smokes him, man. Nose explodes. And so the cop says, well, you did felony damage to his race car when you beat on a carburetor. And, he popped you. He said, hey, if we both walk away, I'll drop the cuffs and we'll forget about this thing. Man, this guy's bleeding like a stuck hog. And he said, okay.
That's awesome, man.
But, there's a million stories like that. So, in closing, Brian, you got anything you'd like to say to the fans out there?
No, I mean, thanks for everybody for all the support throughout the years. And I'm sorry I don't really race anymore. The competitive edge is probably still there, but I know I can't afford to do it the way I want to do it anymore. So
Sure.
I really appreciate everybody's, and I'm sure Alyssa would say the same, for the hospitality and people treating my wife and kids awesome. I mean, everybody from, promoters to fans to, track guys, fellow racers, everybody. So, and I thank you guys for sure for letting us come on.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you.
And Alyssa,
I wanted to say
your
one
turn.
thing. Okay, so one of the questions was they wanted to know if I was ever going to get in a nostalgia car.
Okay.
And so I hate to admit that I cannot drive a manual transmission.
What?
However, it is in our future. We have a 1972 Monte Carlo body. That's all we have.
We're going to build one for next year, yeah.
So we're going to make it an automatic so that
Oh, well, that'd be cool.
any of us can drive it.
Put an old Power Glide in
You
it
might
and-
see Brian in a car again,
Heaven,
but it
there you
would
go.
be
Heaven forbid, don't learn how to drive a stick. You're going to make it an auto? Come on, man.
Favorite crew song?
Yeah.
My favorite crew song? Oh, man, that's a hard one. I'm just going to go with Primal Scream right now.
All right.
That's the attitude I'm in. It
All
could be
right,
Home
man.
Sweet Home. You never know.
Yeah. Depends on what time of the day it is.
Very
That's how
cool.
the neighbors
Girls,
send
girls,
us home.
girls. We're going to go never mind.
Yeah, there you go. That's another one. All right. Well, hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. God bless each and every one of you great race fans out there. Thanks for checking out True Grit. We'll be back on the air again next Monday night, 7 o'clock. Pat and I will be here.
Thanks,
Brian, Alyssa,
Yes, it's
God bless
fun.
you. Thanks for coming on, honey. And y'all have a great day. We'll see you next
Thanks.
week.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.